Good day, everyone. This is Starcade Roll Call Part 6, and before we see the marquees, I love this game show, and this will be my favorite one from the 80s, but it was canceled in 1984. But I would like to see it return, and they would have to find all the old games again. This is why I am called the old schooler, because I find great old weird bad arcade games like this one. You fly in a weirdo land, but I can't think of nothing. Oh yeah, sorry. This game is strange. It's weird because you are being attacked by all sorts of enemies, including eyeballs. Yes, floating eyeballs. And a cameo appearance of the wolf from the game Pooyan from Konami, created in 1982. And this game is in the same cabinet as Rock and Rope and the Pango cabinet, which is originally created from 4. And Rock and Rope and
competition for Bill and Olin on today's show, Jeff. Our video game lineup starts Megazone. They're all around you and after you.
1983, Kosaka, Konami, and Interlogic. Spike balls, spike gates, rockets, eyeballs, and a teardrop which acts as a smart bomb. Yeah. Why don't we move on to the next game, shall we? And I saw this one in person.
Next, pole position 2, moving hot and heavy for the number 1 slot.
Baker's Battle, 1983 Data East. And they were continuing the Deco cassette system, which ended in 1984. God, I want to see the other old games. But I would try my luck at pole position 2 if I went back to that arcade again. Oh well.
Then Vega's Battle, the power of Varga lives to destroy. Then Cosmic Chasm, you're in the black and blasted, and
Mach 3. Come on. Mach 3, military, military simulator. I think that's what it says. This was created by Mildstar in 1983, which is Gottlieb, the ones who created Qbert. Yeah. Hold on while I find more marquees. If this show came back, I would love to introduce the games like this gentleman that does it here. Ladies and gentlemen, okay. In this game, you are traveling through time in a time-changing jet. While you're traveling through time, you will be encountering UFOs, biplanes, helicopters, missiles, blimps, helicarriers, and enemy jets. This game was made by Konami, licensed to Century, and also licensed to Atari. And there was a guy that did this game, and he also did Gyrus. So his boss at Konami wanted this dude to do a driving game, but he did.
Game number 1 is Time Pilot, a flight through space and time.
And they put it out on location in Japan, and his boss took the credit for it. That was shameful of him, but this is a great game.
Game 2, Star Trek, an adventure on the Starship Enterprise.
A conversion kit game, but I don't know much about the series. Sorry. Sega 1982.
Game number 3, Bagman, a race for gold.
1982, Stern Electronics, Velodyne Automation, and Stern Electronics. 1983. An inmate trying to gather up gold. And there's a sequel called Super Bagman, but that came in 1984.
Game 4 today is Xevious, flying low to defend the Earth from aliens.
This is what I think my worst nightmare, and I still play it. But when I was introduced to this game when I was little, I didn't know what to do. So, and I didn't know that you can hold the laser and the bomb button. I love the artwork for this cabinet, but someday we will visit these foolish aliens again, unlike the Galactans.
And game 5, Super Zaxxon, a supersonic flight that's out of this world.
This this is one of the games, one of the twin games that came out in the early 80s, and the first ones were Scramble and Super Cobra. This is the first game from a pinball company named D. Gottlieb Corporation, and their first game that they did is
Game number 1 today, Q*bert, a peculiar, happy, hopping creature.
Sorry about that. This is another game that I saw, and the joystick was small because I have huge hands. And so did the Nintendo games that I saw.
Game 2 is Pooyan, a piggy adventure of motherly love.
This Konami 1982 Stern Electronics. Next. Okay.
Game number 3 today, Pengo, a chilly run through an ice block field. Game 4 is Burger Time. Help Chef Peter Pepper build a burger. And Game 5 on Starcade, Popeye, the man himself trying to reach the sweet olive oil.
This was the first ever Pac-Man game to come out before Pac-Man Plus, which is created by Midway, and no involvement of Namco. But then that started the bad blood between Namco and Bally Midway. And Namco was furious. So, with this,
Game number 1 today, Super Pac-Man. The mild-mannered Pac-Man turns super-sized.
and that is why Midway was foolish enough, and they destroyed the Pac-Man name with Baby Pac-Man, Junior Pac-Man, Professor Pac-Man, until Pac-Land, and that was in 1984, and they lost their partnership with Namco. And we have two games. Well, they have two games that I am terrible at. One is from... Two of them are from Nintendo. Let's see,
2. Donkey Kong Jr. Son rescues Papa from Mean Mario. Game 3, Ms. Pac-Man, a petite munch around the maze.
And this was created by General Computing Corporation. Idea bought by Midway in 1981. and licensed to Namco in 1994. Yep. And I saw this cabinet, and it took a long time for me to see it. And I might see it again someday, but not today.
Game number 4 today, Donkey Kong. Papa rescues son from the Mean Kong. And game 5 today, Pac-Man. The Great One is back. And Mark, it looks like today we've got a Pac-Man and Donkey Kong show.